The majority of people in America continue to believe that there's a literal heaven and a literal hell. Those numbers are dropping, but it's still a majority belief, and most people assume that this is taught in the Bible. As it turns out, this understanding that you die and your soul goes to one place or another is not taught anywhere in the Old Testament, and it's not what the historical Jesus taught. Most people don't realize that when Jesus talks about an afterlife, it's not about your soul going one place to another. Jesus, like other Jews at the time, believed at the end of history as we know it, God was going to intervene in this world and destroy all of the forces of evil and bring in a good kingdom. And people who were alive would either enter into that kingdom for a utopian existence forever or would be destroyed. And people who were dead would be raised from the dead bodily to live in this kingdom or be destroyed. And so Jesus didn't believe that the soul went one place or the other. Jesus believed eternal life was lived in the body here on earth. Most people assume that Jesus and his disciples and the earliest Christians believed that a person who was disobedient to God or was immoral or who didn't have faith would be punished eternally in the fires of hell. As it turns out, Jesus didn't think that. Jesus thought that if a person was disobedient to God, at the end they would be completely destroyed, taken out of existence. There would be no conscious afterlife for these people. They would simply be done away with. And so Jesus did not believe in hell as a place of eternal torment. It seems odd to many people today, but the idea of a literal heaven and hell doesn't come from Jewish or Christian sources originally. It actually comes from Greek sources. It's first articulated most clearly actually in the writings of Plato. And the idea then that the soul goes one place or the other is part of Greek philosophy that eventually crept into the Christian faith. But it wasn't originally part of the Christian faith, and it doesn't arise out of Judaism. Two of the most influential thinkers in the history of our civilization are Socrates and Jesus. And it's interesting that both of them had views of the afterlife that were hopeful. Socrates taught that there are two options when you die. Either you enter into something like a deep sleep with no dreams, which is great. Everybody loves a good night's sleep, and this is like an eternal good night's sleep. Or you have a conscious afterlife in which you have the ability to talk with your ancestors and converse about deep things and think about interesting topics for eternity. And so it's either really good or it's good. It's good either way. Jesus actually had something very similar. Jesus thought that some people would enter into a utopian kingdom of God forever, and other people would simply cease to exist. There's no eternal torment in either one, which means that for both of them, there's nothing to be afraid of about the afterlife, but there may be something to hope for.